K0 and K test. K0 and then K test, 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 test. K0 and then K testing, test, 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 test. K0.
key, which it didn't come with. There it is. Bada bing, baby, let's go. So for the sake of our French review, I'm gonna put the dust shoe on, see how she does. Got a little 2x4, and then I actually have some maple, some walnut, and we'll see if this bad girl can actually get her done. Get her done! You have your ears? Yes. You got your eyes? Good. And if you don't have your eyes, grab yourself a pair of shop shades. If you're working with a tool like this, you definitely want to make sure your eyes are protected because this thing's spitting chips, it's loud as hell, and it could even shoot a board at you, hit you right in the face. Why not be protected? With crystal clear clarity and all-day comfort, the pair of shop shades. Check them out. Support us idiots so we can do more videos like this for you. Now, we're on, we're plugged in. Are my headphones in? Not proper ear protection? Are you ready? Driver's ready. Sam, you ready? Everyone ready? Here we go. It's actually not bad. Now, brand new blades always cut nice. Some pretty good chips. It's not that loud. Brand new blades are going to be a huge difference on any planer. You can see here, we've got actually a pretty nice cut coming off of the saw. You can look at that sheen. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? That's a 2x4. And that's almost finish ready. So let me grab something a little more hard and see if our dude was correct there.
Okay.
Good old piece of soft maple, maybe? I don't know, some kind of maple. I'm gonna lower it down. Sunday.
Warning, don't believe the AI trading hype until you watch this entire video. Hi, I'm Lane Mendel.
Very common. I mean, you're getting very common snipe that's in these lunchbox planers. Tear outs, pretty minimal here. I mean, unless I start running like huge. Let me get one more. A big piece of wood. I'll do a bigger piece of wood. Got a big old chunk of wood here. It's about an 8-inch wide piece of oak, 8.5. It's not jointed, and I know a lot of people use lunchbox planers. They use them on the job site without a jointer as well, and they're doing a lot of what's called skip planing, which is basically just kissing both surfaces, flipping it over until you can get them to cut relatively flat to one another. So here we go. Still going, get her out of there. The snipe on this specific machine is pretty bad, but I gotta say, as far as the reviews go, not saying they can't cut hardwood, the biggest issue I see on this thing is that the snipe is not great. Like, can you see that on camera? That's called snipe. That's not great. Kind of got it on both sides that I was feeding it. I mean, it said not good for hardwoods. Well, you shouldn't be considering a lunchbox planer for hardwoods together. The dust collection clogging, not terrible. I didn't run it long enough for the motor to fail. Bad design. I just gotta disagree. I'd probably give this like 2.5 stars if I had to. It's not the most fundamentally sound machine, but for 350 bucks, if you are someone looking to get a planer, it's worth a shot. At the end of the day, it's Harbor Freight. Just go return it and get another one. On to the next tool. Up next, for the steep price of $4.99, we've got the classic Harbor Freight tape measure. 25-foot, 1-inch tape, and the reviews here are incredible, people. We've got some beautiful English and eloquence here with this first review from a verified buyer that says, very bad experience, drove 15 miles to get this item, told me. The product, it good, the service is very bad. What kind of service are you expecting from a tape measure that cost $4.99? Also, how close do you expect to live to a Harbor Freight? Very interesting review. The reason we bought this tool is because of this review though. It's not accurate. It's off by a 16th for every 36 inches, or worse. I didn't bother checking how off it was by 25 feet, but I assume it's more than a 1/2 inch. For me, it's completely unacceptable for a tape measure to be this far off. Harbor Freight should pull this flawed product immediately. Totally useless junk. Let's put that to the test. Alrighty, so I don't have anything that's like aeronautical or spacecraft, but I've got woodpecker tool and they're pretty accurate.
Tomato, tomato.
So we're gonna use this T-square here and just take a couple measurements, see how the Harbor Freight holds up, and then I've got some tape measures as well. We'll see how close those are. So we'll start your 6-inch measurement, your 12, 18, and 24. Pretty accurate there. Draw a line. God, this thing is so beat up.
I was using that to weed whack outside.
You were? Where the hell did it get all these nicks in it? Interesting. Okay, now for the $5 tape. I think that thing costs like 150 bucks. Actually, I have no idea what that costs. Straight out of the pack. My guy, 6 inches. So the 6-inch, you can see, is off by 32nd. 12, same thing. 18, getting closer to a 16th. That 24 is a full 32nd off. He said it was off by a 16th over 3 feet, and this one might be a little bit more off. Let's test it against some other tapes. We've got a 25-inch. This is like a cheapo Stanley. Mark that here. 6, 12, 18, 24. We got a DeWalt with a light bulb on it. Check that one next. 24. This is very scientific, people. And then we've got this Milwaukee tape that looks like it could use a hug. 6, 12, 18, and 24. My mother-in-law has this tape measure. 6. So you see it, that's the 12. I'm not moving these around to falsify. 24. None of them are perfect. I think that's the interesting part here, is I didn't expect them to be either. If you're looking for like insanely high accuracy, you can see from this line, you're not gonna get it. The Harbor Freight and the DeWalt are both basically in line. And then if I come here, the Milwaukee and our Stanley are both slightly off. And those are just like, that's very minute. The Milwaukee here seem to be the most out, and that's the most beat up. But the reality is, everything else is pretty darn close. I'd be very hard to get any difference in those other two tape measures. I think something that you need to consider if you're new to this, or tools, is that a tape measure itself has play. And this here is to compensate for the thickness, the hook here. And in order to be accurate, it has to have play in it. Well, over time, the play becomes more and more as the tape gets older. See how it moves? It's intentional. So the tape could be loose here. This is pretty loose for a brand new tape. Obviously this Milwaukee's beat up, like beat the shit. So it's off a little bit. If you expect to spend $5 on the world's most accurate tape measure, you're an asshole. I would actually give this 4 stars, because if you're just getting started and you need a tape, $5, go grab one. Next tool. And lastly, if you're one of the 844,000 people that watched me unbox a pallet of returns from Harbor Freight, you'll recognize this guy. We got it running in that video, and it's time to test it. Yep, straight out the gate. Light as hell. The reviews on this sucker are phenomenal. Let me put it together and then read you a few. All right, before I even talk about this thing, 149 bucks is pretty cheap for a table saw. And I mean, if you need it, you need it. That's what it is. But the 1-star reviews for this